are you doing?
You haven't heard?
Heard what?
Governor Inslee has lifted the restrictions on hiking.
But it's 7:30 p.m.
I know. I got a lot of videos to shoot.
Doesn't that start on Tuesday, May 4th?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you guys have heard, but yesterday, April 27th, Washington Governor Jay Inslee announced that he's going to be lifting some of the restrictions on the stay home, stay healthy mandate. One of the ones that we're most excited about is that parks and trailheads are going to be reopening.
Well, some parks and trailheads.
True. Not every park and trailhead is actually going to be reopening, so make sure you check with your trail before just going up it. If there's still a closed sign, it's still closed.
From what I found when I was looking it up, effective Tuesday, May 4th, it sounds like the trails and parks that are controlled by the state of Washington will be reopened. And then he's allowing local areas to make those determinations themselves. So some of the city parks might not reopen, but it sounds like all of the state lands will be reopening.
Great. So that means that campgrounds are going to reopen because they're owned by the state.
No. So they will be open for day use, but they are not allowing people to do any camping or overnight trips. Some of the other things that people can do along with day use hikes would be fishing or hunting, or golf courses, it sounds like, will be reopening for allowing people to play golf.
That's cool. I heard that they were only allowing twosomes though, and the only time you could go in a foursome is if you were all four in the same family.
I believe that is correct. Neither of us are golfers, so we didn't investigate that too thoroughly.
I golf very poorly. So, are there other things they're not allowing, Kim?
Yes. So basically everything that is being reopened is allowed if you practice avid social distancing, which means that certain things would be disqualified naturally, like events. If people wanted to get together for any sort of team sports, so no pickup games of basketball or softball games, and then any other gathering where you're in kind of a larger group, so anything like picnics or getting together with friends and family. So it's still, yes, get outside, but it's doing that in a safe way where you can maintain social distance.
But I can go for a hike.
Yes, with me, because we live in the same household.
Perfect. That'll work. But we can leave the dogs at home?
They could come too, probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So what should we do if we come across people while we're out on our hikes?
So what we want to do is maintain appropriate social distancing. So if you're following someone on the trail, you want to make sure that you allow 6 feet of space between you and the group ahead of you, or you and the group behind you. If it seems like someone is coming along at a faster pace than you're going, just pop off 6 feet into the shrubs, or if there's a wider section of trail, kind of pop off to the side and let them pass. Same thing if you're walking and someone's coming at you. You're going to want to jump off if you can and kind of stick to the farthest edges of the trail to allow as much space as possible between you.
Okay. And do I have to wear my mask the whole time I'm on the hike?
No. So from the research that I did, it seemed like the recommendation was to wear masks in places where you might come into contact with larger groups of people. So that would be like if you were launching a boat to go fishing or to go kayaking, maybe at the boat launch because there might be other groups there.
Okay.
And then also at like trailheads because typically there's more than one group of people kind of approaching the trail at the same time.
That makes sense.
So
Okay.
have a mask with you and be prepared to use it if there's a lot of other people around.
And then we're keeping our 6 feet for those times when we're just passing people on the trail
Absolutely.
itself. We don't have to throw our mask on real quick or anything.
Yeah, but if you are
Gotcha.
going to a trail that maybe has a vista or a viewpoint or some place where people are naturally going to congregate, it might be a good time to put your mask back on in addition to practicing that 6 feet of social distance.
Okay, like that waterfall I wanted to go see.
Right.
Perfect. Maybe we'll
And
make that one.
it would be perfect for the times to get a masked selfie at a nature spot. So,
Ooh, yeah, I think that would go well on Insta.
yeah.
So, well, great. Is there any other things that we want to let the people know about?
Well, when I was looking, they had kind of a list of recommendations and then I added a few things to it. Some of them we've already covered, but we can pop through those if you wanted. It was like 7 or 8 things just to make sure that you, as well as us, are ready for the trails.
All right, let's pop them up on the screen as we say them here. So, I see here number 1 is if you're sick, stay home.
Right. So if you have any symptoms of cold, flu, fever, if you just don't feel 100%, it's safer for you and for everyone to keep your germs and yourself at home.
Okay, I think we can do that. So number 2, some trails may be closed. We kind of mentioned that, but that's a good thing to remind ourselves that not every trail is going to be open.
So before you head out, just head to the official trails website and check what their recommendations are, whether they're open or closed. If you do come across a trail that's closed, just try and augment your plans and go somewhere that's open.
So you know that trail website? We can put it at the bottom for these guys?
No.
Oh.
Usually it's within whatever city or county you happen to be heading to. So for where we live in Bremerton, the City of Bremerton Parks, I would head to the City of Bremerton website and I would just check whether or not the parks are open.
Gotcha. Okay. So you go to your city's website and they should have somewhere on there that tells you whether the parks are open or not. Okay. Well, let's hope the city websites stay up to date. All right. Number 3, recreate locally.
Yeah, so this is important for a number of reasons, mostly because if you can keep yourself and your germs a little bit closer to your home, you're not at risk of infecting people in farther locations. It's also a good idea just to not expend resources and time right now. If you were to break down in a location that was farther from your home, you would come into contact with a tow truck or a repairman or something like that. So if you can keep yourself a little closer to home, that's better during this time. So get outside, but do it near home and safely.
Great. Let's see. Number 4, practice social distancing.
Yeah, so we covered that. 6 feet of space and only go with people that are in your household. If you do meet up with someone to go on a walk together on the trail, just make sure that you're keeping a good 6 feet between you. And also know that if you are actively exercising, you're actually expelling air at a higher velocity and more rapidly. Mm-hmm. So your risk of infecting other people increases. So maybe even more than 6 feet
Minimum
would be a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Number 5, we kind of mentioned with number 4, only go with those that you live with.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the same on the social distancing. Number 6, utilize facial coverings.
Yeah, so again, that's really at those spots where you're going to come into contact with other people. So have your mask with you and have it ready and make sure that you know how to safely put on and take off a mask and bring some hand sanitizer with you so you can sanitize your hands after you do that.
Great. Number 7, bring your own food and supplies. Are you living out there? Are you hungry? What's going on?
Well, from what I was seeing, this was for a couple of reasons. First, if you don't bring your own things with you, you're going to have to stop somewhere. So again, you're going to come into contact with people who aren't in your immediate local area. If you were to break with symptoms or something in a different area than your own, you can put additional strain onto their healthcare system. The second reason is because the healthcare system and our emergency personnel are so stretched thin right now, it's really a good idea to come prepared so that you don't need other people to come in and rescue you. So make sure that you know where you're going, that you're prepared, that you've brought some supplies with you, and that you're ready and you don't need to stop for water or granola bars or anything of that nature.
Okay. All right. Bring in the food. And number 8, don't go during peak times.
Yeah, so this one, I actually just thought of this one. I don't know that this has been anywhere else, but if you can use a trail or a natural space during non-peak times, do so. A lot of people right now do still have to work, and so the only time that they can really get outside and be in nature is on the weekends. I don't work right now, and so if I'm able to go out on my own during the week to get some nature time in, that just kind of allows that space to be used by others without it being so crowded during those peak times. So if you have the freedom and the ability, do so.
I think it's also going to be a little more enjoyable for everybody if they're not out on the big crowded trails and they can just enjoy the nature they want to be out there enjoying. So I think that's a great point. I think you guys should let us know if we missed anything or didn't think of something. Put it down in the comments below. And as people come along, they'll be able to read those and get your ideas and tips that you might have for them. So well, that's great. Is there anything else you want to let them know about?
I think that's it. We're excited. This opens back up on Tuesday, May 4th. Since we're doing a lot of the trails in the
Urban Trails Kitsap book.
Yeah, in the Urban Trails Kitsap book. We're actually probably going to have to do a little bit of website checking because some of those are state lands, but some of those are more controlled by counties in different jurisdictions. So we'll have to do a little bit of checking to see which trails are open before we get out there.
Okay.
And then we're excited to make more videos, but it sounds like it might be a bit before they roll out since we can't really get on the lands till Tuesday.
Yeah, it does take a bit to make the videos. You know, we've got to get out there. We've got to enjoy the hike and film it. And then typically we'll do that one weekend, and that will take up most of, a day. I might get around of editing it the next day, but then it takes more than one day. I'm not a very fast editor yet. I'm still new to a lot of this. So expect a couple other videos before you get some hiking videos again. But we are going to be out there. We are going to be hiking, and hiking videos will be coming again soon. We're excited, and we'll see you guys out on the trail. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't know if you guys heard, but yesterday at Jay Inslee's, I don't know if you guys heard, but yesterday at Washington, I don't know if you guys heard, but yesterday Washington's governor, that's who it is.